What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association, and I host the only online conversation in the world for fathers and dads that is sponsored by Dove Men Care. It's also co-sponsored by DAD, Central Canada's National Fatherhood Organization. And through that collaboration this year, I have been able to reach out directly or indirectly to over 100,000 fathers around the world this year. So I'm very happy about that. That's my Christmas gift to myself, or holiday gift to myself. And so we're here, Morning Vibe, live December 6th. It's counting down to the end of the year. Hail out to the people that are already in the room. And let's give the master of the room his due, Ryan Knight.
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. For those that don't know who Ryan Knight is, I'm one of the co-founders of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. Also, so we work with entrepreneurs to figure out what stage they're in and then help them grow their companies. I also am an entrepreneur myself, rocking backwards, which hand is which?
There, you're good. You're good there.
The detailing nights. So we provide mobile waterless car cleaning, going to people's houses or their offices, cleaning their cars on the spot without using water and using our plant-based, eco-friendly cleaning supplies. This weather I am not a fan of. Last night,
it deters washing cars. That's the thing. It's not good for business,
man. Yeah, so it feels like the off season is coming quicker than anticipated. Usually we go to like mid-December, sometimes even push into Christmas, but it's taking a couple body blows. Although the weather today, although it's rainy, it is like 10 degrees. So
yeah, it's warm.
It's a weird mix going on.
Yeah. How was the weekend?
The weekend was lovely. There was a holiday pop-up market happening on the Saturday. So Jamal from Empro Graphics was putting it together. So there's about 30 Black entrepreneur vendors in the space at Topaz. Where is that? Like North York, Shepherd and Keel area?
Yep.
So it was, he was able to put it together. I got to check in, meet some great entrepreneurs, which aligned well because at the Bramley City Center, we've been putting together this, not a pop-up shop, but like a vendor section of a store. So Reveler Afrique, Julianne, she had a pop-up at Bramley, now has a full-time store. So ACBN is sponsoring a section. So it was cool getting to see the entrepreneurs in the pop-up, asking them like, hey, would you want kind of long-term shelf space? So some of them are interested, and we're going to be profiling them during the week.
Excellent. Anything else that went on? Did you get some relaxed time in?
When did I relax? Sunday was an interesting day. It was more like just kind of, I was with my daughter. We got to go to the store. We actually filmed a bit with Derek Fagan from DF Media Productions just to highlight the store and get the story of Julianne. So, and then my daughter got to talk about her book. She got to hang out with grandma and grandpa. We stopped by just to say hi, and cousins were over. So yeah, it was like a mellow Sunday. Yeah.
Cool.
How was your weekend?
Saturday I actually had a chance. Well, Saturday morning I go to a monthly men's meeting, and we got together for about an hour and a half, which was great. That was in Oshawa. And then I did that fatal thing. I crossed the across Yonge Street border with my passport, and I was in Mississauga having a meeting with a gentleman who's becoming a mentor of mine. It was originally supposed to be about an hour. It ended up to be about 3 hours, but it was worth every moment of it. And I brought someone with me to get some mentorship, and it was amazing. I'm still sort of like, wow.
Excellent.
Like the greatest gift you can give to people is investing your time in them. And he really, really did a great job investing time. So it was really good. And then did a show, Aisha and Jill's show on Saturday night, did Black Canada Talking yesterday afternoon with Sarah Youngo, L. Jones, and Cesar. That was wild. It was a great conversation piece. And And actually, yes, I got so much done yesterday. I just put my head down, just blocked everything out, and I got so many things completed. So my load is a little bit lighter today. So there's some things, new things I haven't been able to get a hold and a grip on that I'm working on now. Actually, potential new client from California I spoke with on
Excellent.
Friday, and some other things in the go. But yeah, it was a good weekend, and it was like yesterday's weather. Especially last night, you were crazy if you're going out last night.
No, after the sun went down, it
Bang.
it was disgusting outside, and it came quick. It was just like snow,
but
slippery.
they said it was going to happen, right? So
Yeah,
you're ready for it. So folks, the people are in here. If you're in here live, you know what we're doing. Every live conversation from now to the end of the month, if you're looking for a $25 Amazon gift card, put the morning vibe in the comments box, whatever platform you're watching, press enter, and we'll put you in a draw. Now, that's not the main reason you should be here, but it's one of
it's like a bonus. Yes.
It's a bonus. It's a bonus to being here. So start putting it in, and I will see if you're putting it in or not. And let's see if we can get people other than Charmaine to dominate.
Right.
Charmaine is our first two-time winner. We'd like to see new winners and other two-time winners of these gift cards. So it's going to be good. And good morning, Divine Right from the DMV area in the U.S. and also a young lady named Sheraton Knight. So and she's saying Black Canada Talking was great yesterday. Thank you. You're becoming my number one supporter on all these platforms. Like I know Sheraton is between you and Chris with the morning vibe, but across the board, you it.
Right.
We have to buy some shares in Amazon for you. All right, let's see if they'll offer you some shares. She'd take that. She'd take that. So who do we got this morning?
Yeah, and it was interesting when you were talking about being able to meet with your mentor and kind of have a person with you to also be part of the conversation. And then talking about my daughter and spending time with her. The gentleman that is coming on today, I went through his parenting course, and one piece that I really took from it was MQT, so meaningful quality time. And if I got that acronym wrong, he'll let me know. But Oliver Levy, who's the founder and owner of the Mindful Parenting Toolkit, is really taking an interesting perspective on helping parents, I'll say, deal with their kids. It's like just point blank. A lot of us, we had a certain style from our parents, and now we have our own style with our kids. And it feels like everybody across the board is winging it, or maybe that's just me. But Oliver really takes a deep dive into why it's so important to have a style, like to have an actual plan and not just wing it. So really proud to have you on today, Oliver.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good. How are things going this morning, Oliver?
Things are going well. Amazing start to the morning. And then here I'm on this Dr. Vibe show. It can't be better.
Well, it's Ryan and my show. If anything, it's more Ryan's because he's more the media star than me.
I'm the apprentice.
Oh, well, when you think of apprentice, I think of a certain person.
Okay, right.
Oh, okay, all right.
So just make sure you qualify that apprentice title with a little bit of stuff at the end. So probably most people would think when they hear apprentice, the first thing they think about 45. Let's just leave it at that.
Jeez, right. They should be thinking about the trades and building stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Levy, tell us a little bit about yourself, because I'm sure a lot of people don't know of you. What's some of your background?
Are you sure a lot of people don't know about me?
No. They should know.
Well, I have an international audience, young man.
Yeah,
I'm not just a GTA person.
I got you. I got you. So my name is Oliver Levy, founder and CEO of Mindful Parenting Toolkit and a brand called Mindful Parenting Academy. And basically what that does is, this is the reason why I love this platform. What I do is I design a three-step process to crack the parenting code. Yes. So parents can enjoy their emotional connection with their kids. This is a deeper than relationship, and correct misbehavior for good so they can create harmony at home and wherever they go. That's as simple as that. And it doesn't matter your parenting style or your child's temperament. Harmony is just 3 steps away.
Excellent. How did it come into being?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now you're asking a deeper question. So I'm gonna give you the short version. It's a lot of process to this. Just coming in Canada when I was 16, and I was one of those kids where I always wanted a family. I'm always dreaming to be the best dad as possible. However, being grew up in a very traumatic environment, you name it, born and raised in the Caribbean. I don't have to go in details. Very traumatic. And, when my first son was about 7, I lost it on him. And that kind of spiraled into losing the old relationship with my wife and all that stuff. And the second relationship, my second marriage, when my second son was about 4, I found myself losing it too, whether it's losing my voice, I sometimes being physical, and I say some stuff that I can't repeat now, or probably I can. But
You
you know what I
can if
mean?
you
Like,
want.
so I was in that, I was in that zone where I thought that's how you're supposed to raise kids. And my wife gave me a wake up call. She said, "Well, you got to do something because guess what? The common denominator was me." So I was a little bit, I would say, semi-depressed, and I gone through a lot of anxiety for about 3 weeks. Almost lost my full-time jobs, only because I said to myself, "How did I get here? I wanted to be the best version of myself. I want to be the best dad. I want a family. I want to marry. And how did I get here?" So there's a little bit of there's a pond by the Longos by where I live here. I love the water, so I sat by that old stone by that pond for at least 5 6 hours a day for those 3 weeks. A lot of self-reflection, a lot of self-talk. And I say, you know what? Something got to give. I need to change something here. And that was it. That was it, guys. To make a long story short, I spent a lot of money and just books, DVDs, CDs. Back then, DVDs was the thing, and I just got into positive parenting, shifting the mindset, combination with a few mentors to help me uncover a few layers that I was dealing with when it comes to relationship and just emotional intelligence and all of these things. And this is where I'm at today. So it's been over 10 years now in that journey, and I've been teaching and mentoring parents for over 5 years now.
And so I'm curious, when you were doing the reflection, and I wonder, do you recommend parents doing their own reflection and maybe finding a pond to sit by? But what, after you kind of broke free and said, okay, I know I want to do better, while you were, I would say, in training, what was that aha moment that you had where you're like, okay, now I realize what it is and I could teach it? Like, where did you feel that you made that breakthrough?
So after gone through that, while I was doing this, so after I gone through all that process and I self-reflect, there's something called vacuum law of prosperity. So the vacuum law of prosperity, by oh my gosh, um, he did The Secret, Bob Proctor, by Bob Proctor, and he talks about, in order to acquire something new, you have to get rid of the old mindset.
Okay.
So the whole 3 weeks, I was just trying to figure out how can I get rid of this aggressive, that's how you raise kids mindset. And coupled with that, Ryan, coupled with that, I was running my own basketball program. And every Saturday, I have a group of kids for 2 hours. And I would spend 15 minutes before the program starts just to, teach these kids valuable life lesson skills, setting goals. Like physically, we get on the basketball floor, we have a big sheet of paper for each child, and they've been setting their goals, and I'll help them about SMART goals. And 5 minutes I'll spend with the parents to give them tips on how to handle things at home. After about probably about a year, parents start saying to me, Oliver, this is not the thing for you. You should be doing bigger things. And I was in my zone, so I wasn't really listening to that. And one lady said to me, you know what? you've changed my life. I've seen my son doing things differently. I don't have to really shout at him to go to bed, and he helping me wash the dishes, and I want you to mentor me. And that's where it started. And then I kind of talked to some of my mentors. I said, how do I go about doing that? I don't want to do that.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
But I had the passion, and I had a few, tools in my toolbox and, in my toolkit. And I say, you know what? Let me come up with a plan. That was it. That was it. So that just all those combination together, that gave me the breakthrough. And yeah.
Just want to remind people again, gift card, $25 Amazon gift card. Put hashtag the morning vibe in the comments section on whatever platform you're watching this live. I see one or two people have done it so far, but like to have more people. Haven't seen Charmaine in yet, so everyone else still has a chance. But let me ask then, Oliver, give us the early days of this journey of, like, was it an easy sell to people when you first launched this journey?
Nope, not at all. Especially in our community, the Caribbean and the African community. I remember, I remember doing a presentation. So I started off in the Caucasian community, right? Did a few presentations there, and I teamed up. That's when I teamed up with the Caribbean Heritage Month and the Caribbean community of chambers, community and chambers of commerce, and I said to myself, I need to tap into our culture more. So I just went straight in, and I knew there was going to be a battle. So the reason I was laughing, because my first presentation with probably 80% Jamaicans, and the rest was other Caribbean. It was all Caribbean, but 80% Jamaicans, I remember. So I walk in there, and I always start off my presentation like this, asking a question. We are raising kids in a world that we all know and understand, but no longer exist. And because they know what I was coming to talk about, all I heard was, mm-hmm. Let me hear this now. Whomever tell for raise them pick me. Mm-hmm. All sorts of different stuff in the background. And we are people, we don't hold back, right?
Yes.
So I kind of paused, and I just kind of listening to all that was going on. Let me hear this. Let me hear this now, right? And here's the thing, and this was another wake up call for me. After that 2-hour presentation, and I gave, my presentation is not only inspirational and motivational. I give them practical tools, and every single one of them line up just to talk to me after. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
My wife was there, and I can see her face when we first started. And at the end, she was like, what's going on here? They just totally shift, right? Because the thing is, when it comes to raising, kids and all that stuff, we all know. It's just that we just don't, we're not mindful of a few things that we might be doing that trigger a child to do certain things or not to do certain things. So I kind of get to the root of things. I don't give quick fix. I get to the root of things and help parents to shift that mindset, the same shift that I went through. Else I wouldn't understand. Shift the mindset first. Then you can use this tool. So they really got it. And that was the breakthrough for me in terms of, you know what? Yeah, the other ones that really is going to chastise me, this program is not for them. The one that really, like Ryan and others that really want to learn more and be humble about it, yeah, those are the people I want to serve.
So
just hold on. Charmaine is here, everybody. So get your entries in.
Yes.
But self-reflection, she says self-reflection is indeed a good start to embracing change. Very inspiring, great food for thought. Divine Right says, yes, indeed. Yes, Charmaine, yes, indeed. Sorry, Ryan, go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just curious what the journey's been like with your kids. So now you have one child that is with a previous marriage, and is there 2 children in the new marriage? Is that right?
Yes, correct. That's correct.
And so now you had your son, and he was 4 when you started to go on this journey, and then I believe your daughter was born after. So your daughter now has been all her life, and I would say the new Oliver. Your second son is kind of saw the shift, and then your first son is probably seeing like a completely new father. So what has it been like for the three children on your journey? Like, how has it been received?
It's been astonishing, man. Amazing. And the whole journeys, it's also a research for me and some insights for me as well.
Right.
Matter of fact, my very first presentation that I've done, public presentation that I put on for myself, my oldest son was the videographer and a photographer
Okay.
because
Yes.
that's what he's into.
Mm.
And the conversation, because I brought him home after, and the conversation going home, he was really emotional. I was emotional, well, and he was like, wow. There's a lot of revealing things, and and I'll talk about some stories that was involve him as well, and how I treated him.
Right.
And back then, he was looking at me like, what kind of dad are you? And now he's started to realize that, not only that I apologize and I own up to my mistakes, but just that relationship, just that process, Ryan, it was amazing to see how he understood, he got it. Because, like obviously growing up, he was a little bit confused. Most of the times I wouldn't be in his life. For like 2-3 years, I wouldn't be in his life. Right? Just growing up as a kid. And it was always, as a child, you always want to see your father, your mother, all that stuff, right? So, and I wasn't always around. And now that I came full circle and I talk about the story and he saw the presentation, he was like, wow. And so, yes, he looked at me as a totally changed person. Now we're best friends. Yeah, we're just cool. We're chill. Like he's my buddy, right? And so it's been amazing. And now with my two kids, they're seeing that as well, and they hear my stories with him as well. And they're all good friends. They get along well. So that whole journey and to see all that process, all those moving parts coming together, is also a research for me as well.
Okay. Got a question here from the DMV, Divine Right of the DMV. Oliver, what do you say to parents who aren't willing to do self-reflection and not wanting to shift, but their relationship with their kids is strained?
First, I would say to those parents, what do you want your child to be? Do you want him to grow up okay? Do you want him to grow up with a lot of because look at us. I know most of us have some layers and certain things that we have to deal with when it comes to personal development and all that stuff. So I would say to those parents, you're gonna ask yourself the bigger question: what do you want from your child? What do you aspire your child to be? You want them to be the change. You want them to impact others. You want them to live their life of their dreams. All those three questions, parents are going to say yes. So because of that, we all know that the way we were raised is not. You can't use the same tools today, right? So we're going through 2.5, probably 3 decades the way we were raised, and everything changed. So now we have to make that shift. You have to find it in yourself to make that self-reflection to say, okay, you want this without a doubt. So now you cannot accomplish these things using the same mindset. You can't open doors with the old mindset. You can't open new doors with old mindset. So I would really coach them into, and this is something that is so important to Dr. Vibe, where I kind of coach. Parents come to me, oh, okay, how do I get my kids to do homework? How do I get? I usually tell parents, you're not there yet. I'm sorry, I can't teach you that yet. I have to teach you to shift your mindset first, because I can provide all the tools, but it won't work because the mindset is not shifted from the old mindset to the new mindset. So that's a whole hour-and-a-half presentation where I actually get them to shift their mindset in order to guide their children to greater achievements, basically, because that's what they want. Every parent want that.
You know what? I'll piggyback on what you're saying there in another way, that some parents aren't ready. To be honest, 100%
No,
honest. Not some are
the
just
shorter
not
version.
ready.
That's the shorter
Right?
version.
No, that's true. It's
Yes.
and again, if people want to change, it has to start with them first. Right?
100%.
Absolutely.
It's gotta, let's just be real here and take the smiley faces off. If you know, if the change has to start from them first, and if they don't want to change, nothing Oliver is gonna do is gonna make that happen. The parent has to take that first step.
Correct.
Well, I'm curious, what have you been seeing around that? What is that barrier to wanting to change? Is it a parent saying, I just don't have time to go through this mindset shift that you're talking about? Is it they, like, what's ingrained and been taught to them, they idolize, like it was the way that their parents taught them, so it is something that they feel they should duplicate? And I've heard parents say, like, well, I turned out fine, so I should do the same thing my parents did. Have you seen any trends with the types, I don't want to say excuses, but the types of reasons that parents give you for, or pushback for not wanting to change?
One word: ego. So, people who are on a personal development journey are less egotistic. Right? The ego is not really there. They want to learn more, so they, peel back those ego, and so that's the actual trend, because not a lot of parents get to pass the first stages in my program, because I vet. Like Doctor said, I'm not going to waste my time if I know this is not for you. Or whatever, I'm going to provide you the initial complimentary initial tools, and you go to work with that. But I can tell you're not ready. I ask you 3 specific questions, and I can tell if you're ready or not. So, and the trend I usually see, Ryan, is people on a personal development. It could be for some teachers, other parent expert themselves, been in my program. Just parents who just want more, and they're on this journey.
Right.
That's that. Now, when it comes to teenager issues, I see parents who have enough. They their child's ready to walk out the door, so they have nowhere to turn. So full desperation. Only on the teenager issue. So we're talking about 2 different things when it comes to the teenager, because now 17, 18, sometimes 19. They're gone for all a week, and the parents can't find them.
Right.
Yeah.
No, real talk.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And one lady called me, emergency situation. Her son came home drunk and high, and kicked the door off because she locked all doors and took away his key, and he just kicked it off. She said, "Should I call the police?" I said, "No, hell no." Right? No, let's revamp your house with a lot of mirrors. You need to start looking yourself in the mirrors. Right? It's not the child's fault. So that was an interesting situation. So these are the trend that I'm seeing, right?
Yeah, and I just piggybacking on what Oliver's saying. There are some parents that say I can't and I won't. And if they're in the I can't and I won't stages, they're not ready.
Correct.
They're certainly, they're just not ready to make it happen. And those type of parents, unfortunately, the I won't people, they're not interested in changing because they don't feel like they have a problem. And then the I can people are people who would like to change, but they don't believe it's possible. So I can relate with what Oliver is saying, because I do a lot of this stuff with fathers and men. So I go through this a lot of the times. So the ones that aren't ready, you just say, okay, well, what is what you're doing working?
Exactly.
Right.
No, exactly. Right.
So that's no problem. So go back again. So Oliver, let me ask you, what percentage of the stuff that you do with mindful parenting, what percentage you feel is mindset?
Ooh, that's a very interesting question.
Well, once in a while I come up with good questions.
50%. 50%. And I actually teach the mindset. So it's interesting how my course set up. It's strategically, I've revamping it many times, and I'm still doing so. Strategically set up that the first 30% is all mindset, but parents won't know that. The first 30% is a mindset, and in between for the rest of the 7-week program, it's mindset in between. So I would say 50%.
But like front loaded, so that has to be in place.
Oh, front loaded has to be.
Yes, yes.
100%. Because the first 3 sessions, which is hour and a half to 2 hours each, it's all mindset, but I don't call it mindset because it's interesting, you know, when people say let's do a mindset training,
they run away.
Correct, exactly.
They run away because they think you're a psychologist or something, and they don't want to do that.
Yes,
word when you're in this area, especially wording is so important.
100%.
So important. Because if you tell a parent that they need to see a therapist,
right?
They'll run.
Yes.
They'll run. Right. But if you tell them, you know, I think you may need some professional help, that's different.
Yes.
So
and that's what it comes down to. Yeah. Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, I'm curious if you've looked into, so now as a community, you would see parents that, or I mean, a parent might come up to a friend and say, hey, I'm having these issues with my child. So have you ever looked at how do you coach the community to support parents that are having difficulties with their child? I don't know if that, like, how to even structure that.
Hold on, he's one man. You're asking the community?
Go to the guru, right? If not him, maybe he's seeing it. So I'm curious, how do we get the community to support parents? And I don't know. It's like, how do we help?
That's a very good question. I never thought about it like that. But what I've thought about, Ryan, is that there's, over the last 5 years, there's 2 dads, potentially 1 mom, 2 dads who are willing to come under my wings so they can do the same work I'm doing. They're doing their thing. One of them is an entrepreneur, but they're willing to take this on because that was already their kind of dream or something that really inside of them that they always wanted to do. But they didn't really kind of see how to do it or it's possible. So from that perspective, I'm not sure if that's what you're alluding to, but I never really thought about, obviously. So here's my mission. My mission is to change the lives of 10 million parents. And I can't do this by myself. So I have
Ryan thinks you can, though. We're not question. He feels that you can.
Yeah, you can develop the blueprint.
Right? I developed the new blueprint. And based on what Ryan is talking now I can get a few core group of people to say, here's the blueprint, let's work this out. And now that's a whole different program now, Ryan, where it's a coaching program now for parent coach, right?
Like train the trainer.
Yes, correct. That's the goal, that's the end goal, but I'm not here yet. Let's take it one step at a time.
Thank you. We have some questions more questions from the audience. Christopher is asking, how do you not be a friend to your children, but yet still be a cool hip-hopish parent?
Right.
Wow. It's interesting because I was just talking about that 2 days ago. And Saturday, and I was mentoring a few men on a Saturday. So here's the thing, and this might shock you guys. And this is one of the questions I asked when I said 3 questions. Can you be friends with your kids? That's not a deal breaker, but one of the deal breaker depends on how you answer that question. I kind of see where you at, and the answer is yes, you can. Because the mindset now of you can't, that's the old mindset. Kids should be seen and not heard and all that crazy stuff that I was born and raised with. If friends come over or adult comes over, we can't be around the adult or part of the conversation at all. Whether it's kid based or adult based, we can't be seen, right? So yes, that's a mind shift. Yes, you're supposed to be your kids' friends. Now, if you have the right tools, obviously there's borders. like for example, my kids, they call me whatever they want to call me. Yo, dad, pops, brethren, what's the word on the street? Whatever words on the street, that's what they call me. That's what I call bro, right? Bro is kind of fading out now. We just vibe like this. He'll come in from school, he goes, yo, what up? Right? And I'm like, yo, what up? Right? And so we have that. This is the reason why I said it's an emotional connection. Emotional connection is a little bit deeper than just your relationship with your child. When you're emotional connected, and we all know this, when you're emotional connected to anyone, game's over. So that means there's boundaries, and they knows where those boundaries are. They don't cross those boundaries. So there's a time and place where at home it's not all friends and all that stuff, but for the most part, for the general part, we are friends. But when it comes to certain things, they know the boundaries, and I don't have to say these boundaries. It's already put in place. They already know certain boundaries they don't cross. Mm-hmm. So, yes, you can be friends with your kids, but you have to have the right tools, which is important to set those boundaries. Because just talking about boundaries and say, you need to respect me and all this stuff, you need to call me dad. Like, I'm not saying parents should call their kids whatever. Like, that's up to you. But you can't just say that. We don't say anymore. Here's the thing in the parent industry. Talk, and say it, that's gone. It's teach by your examples.
Living examples,
correct.
Right.
Telling doesn't work. We're going to teach by your living examples. Go ahead.
You know what? I'm going to suggest an interesting question, because you have your 3 questions. I would ask the parent, are they their own best friend?
Ooh, I like that. That's going down in there.
Right? Because if they're not their own best friend, that puts up my antenna, but that's a whole other conversation.
That's deep, just so you know.
You can hire me if you want. Tim has a question here. Oliver, do you have a book out?
Oh, not yet.
Okay.
That's like the 100th time somebody asked me that.
There you go. And then Charmaine is asking, change tends to evoke fear in some persons. Absolutely. It does in not some, many people, which makes them hold on to what they deem comfortable. So the first step should be getting them to understand and appreciate why change is necessary.
Yes. Thank you, Charmaine. That's exactly the process. You got it.
Very, very, very change. A lot of people, and it gets a little bit deeper, but our brain is wired not to take risks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole deeper conversation. But that's why that's one of the things why, especially at parents too, they don't like to change, because what's going to happen? I don't know. Our brain is wired to keep us safe.
Right.
That's why. Yeah, sorry. That's why it's so important. It's so important to work on a mindset shift first. It's so important because we must understand that in order to grow, maybe if we don't want to grow, in order to, allow our future generation to grow, we have to step out of that comfort zone. And that comfort zone is taking risk. That's where all the possibilities are. The risk, the unknown. That's where all the possibilities are. So we tend to, I usually say, we raising our kids in 2 different worlds. One at home in a small little box, and when they go in the real world, they have no idea because there's no box there.
Right.
Oliver, from with what you've been doing, what do you see with parenting over the last 16 to 18 months? How much of a shift has it taken, good, bad, or ugly?
This is an interesting trend. I would say a bit of both. Or a bit of all 3. The ugly side is that those parents who don't want to change, and especially in the beginning of the pandemic, and they're home with their kids, it's a whole wreck where they're frustrated, the kids are frustrated, and it's just not a good scene. And I've seen it, and some of these parents and situations I can't take on, because if you're not there, you're not there. Now the other side is some parents want to change, but I think Ryan alluded to it earlier. They can't find the time.
Well, to
Right,
me,
that's
I'd
one
say
of the big things.
they don't want to make. They're not making the time.
Correct. They're not
The
making the
priorities,
time.
right?
That's the
Yeah.
difference. Correct. I say you don't find time, you make the time. And sadly enough, only a few percentage are saying, you know what, I'm willing to make the time. I'm not a fan. Some parents will say I'm not a fan of this new parenting thing, right? But I'm gonna buckle down. I'm gonna do something new because I want to see a different result with my kids. And those are the ones who see results because they take actions, right? So only when you take action you see results, and this is a very few who are seeing results. And I describe the ugly and the bad. Obviously, they've been in my program. They want to, they think they want to do the work, but they graduate from the program, they don't do the work. Why? How do I know? 6 7 months later, like last month, a couple weeks ago, called me back, asked me the exact same question that I gave them tools to do.
Right.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow. So Hayton is saying, wow, this has to be the biggest paradigm shift in parenting ever for our community. Our community's parenting style is an unconscious legacy of slavery. Oliver's program is our own style. Another question here. Christopher's saying behavior and modification of it is necessary if posed as a problem because parenting is an overtime job. Do you find that parents need more counseling than the children or vice versa? I know what I would answer that, but it's your show today.
First of all, put up that again. There's one word that's kind of stuck out to me. Over time. Wow. First of all, let's deal with that overtime. It's not an overtime job. It's your responsibility.
If you choose to have it as a responsibility.
If you choose to. Correct. Correct.
It's a choose to.
Correct. And the second part, what was the second part again? Sorry.
No problem.
That you kind of threw me off guard. You find that parents need more. It's parents, it's not the kids. Parents need counseling, not the kids. Not at all. It's interesting because I talk about my basketball program, and some parents wanted me to kind of guide them, but when I put the program together for this one lady, and I said, "Oh, sure, I can guide you." When I show, because this was a house call, right? When I show up at the house, they say, "Here's the kids." I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Yep.
It doesn't work like that. I'm not here for
take care of them. Here they are. Go ahead.
I said, no, it doesn't work like that. No, they want, no, you send the kids to play or whatever the kids. It's you, because here's the thing. I'm qualified to teach 27 different characteristic skills to kids and wisdom coaching program that I've done in this process, and I could have continued to do so. But what happened is every time on a Saturday, the kids will come to my program. They all come and fire it up. And in the first 2-3 days, they're doing the stuff at home. And then when they come back to my program, the Saturday, we have to reset them. So I don't want to be taking parents' money. I'm not doing this only for the money. That's not my number one. Right? This is my passion. I'm very passionate about, for those who know me, I'm very passionate about, the young people and guiding them to greater achievements and success and living their life. So I could have been doing this just teaching just the kids. I could have just gone to the houses and teach the kids. But guess what? It's like teaching somebody to fish, or you want to give them the fish. So when I do that, all my gonna make changes, because now the parents don't understand. The parents now back in the default system. So I'd rather give the parents the tool that I have so they can better off themselves and teach the kids how to live their life without any frustrations. And that's how you make the real change.
Yeah, we got more. Go ahead, Ryan. We've got about 2 or 3 more questions to go with, but go ahead, Ryan.
Well, just to finalize that point, because you would teach the kid, but then you've left them in a dysfunctional ecosystem. So then no matter what they've learned, it's like it can be revert back to the old way that the parent is now impressing on them. And I'm curious around the second teachers in our life, the second parents is the teachers. And do you have programs around coaching teachers on, again, how to deal with the kids that they have now become like the second parents to?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's teachers been in my program. And I love mentoring teachers because they're already halfway there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they're halfway there. It's an easy thing. So yeah, teachers. Oh yeah, for sure. Teachers, okay. I'm getting to coaches too, Ryan, like sports coaches, but right. it's a little bit more tougher.
Okay.
Their mindset is wired differently, right?
Mm.
All right, some more questions. Back to the DMV. How do you gently tell the other parent that they need professional help?
It's interesting because when I first started this, people's like, how do you do that? How do you tell parents that they're not guiding their children or not raising their children properly? And I don't, doctor. What I do is I just help parents shift the mindset. I don't tell them, just like we're talking about, words are powerful, right? I don't tell parents you need professional help because then they're going to be like, what? What are you talking about? I see parents like this. What?
Right, defensive.
I say, no, I'm going to teach you how to shift the mindset so you can guide your children to greater achievements or to whatever, so they can live their life without the frustration. This is the key, I usually say, without the frustration on your part.
That could go many ways, but I'm going to leave it for now.
Talk to me, so I can. But
so here's the thing, though. You will, if you haven't, you're going to come up with a situation that's going to be necessary. And I think, and as I said, the wording, and I mentioned it earlier, I would, and we can talk a little bit more offline because I've dealt with it before, and then wording is very important. So. Just a suggestion, if that comes up, wording is very important. Wording is really, really important because if you see that they're challenged emotionally and it's not addressed, it could become challenging for you, the parent or parents, and the kids.
Especially when you use the mindset, right?
Yeah. So
yeah, got you.
So if you want to chat offline, I have some wording I use when that type of situation comes up.
Yeah.
So because it
will be great. Yeah.
Because the thing is, if you don't address it, it's going to stay underneath.
Mm.
And the thing you don't want is something just bubbling underneath because you don't know when it's going to go pop.
Correct. Yes.
So
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
Just a thought. And I'm saying that in love for you and also the families that you're serving.
Oh, 100%. I love it. Yeah.
So some more comments are flying in here. So let's keep them going. Someone from Twitch. This is the first comments we're getting from Twitch. I signed up for therapy this year and I think everyone would benefit. Well, I'll just add on to this. I think that most people that look like the people like us on the screen need a therapist. That's a whole other conversation.
Yes.
Charmaine saying being a friend to your child does not mean that discipline has to go through the door. That's one of the reasons why some parents are hesitant. Do you touch on this point in your mentorship?
Yes, I do. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Answers short and sweet. Important. DMV Divine Right. Especially, I like that name for her. And I'm going to call it DMV Divine Right. We've known each other for a few years, especially if the other parent is getting counseling as well as the child, but they won't get the help. Christopher, he's on fire with questions today. Oliver, your work is needed, and I applaud you for tapping into your passion. To whomever invited you to the show today, this was very fitting. How do we support your program's offerings? We'll get to that at the end of the conversation.
Excellent.
Ray McMillan, of course. This is a great conversation. Most of us stumble into the role of parenting without a template or blueprint. I think most people still do.
Still in it.
I should have had someone have this conversation with me 30 years ago. Never too late. Agreed. And then, I need to rephrase the question. How do I, as the parent, the mom, tell the other parent, the dad, that he needs professional help?
Now we're getting somewhere. Before you get to the other comment there, this is very popular in my program. Very popular. And here's the thing I talk about under the empowerment paradigm. You cannot change another human being, including your child. You cannot control another human being, including your child. And when it comes to two parents, one is going left, one is going right. You cannot tell the other parent because we all know, right? We become controlling when we tell the other parents, no, you need to do that. You need to get out. What we do, and there's a lot of parents in my program are on this level, and some of them who take my advice, seeing the result. What you do is you put on your blinders when you're dealing with your kids. As long as you, because I personally gone through that with my wife. Okay. So I know firsthand and it took me a longer time it's based on how the other parent is to and how they were raised and their mindset. So once you focus on what you're doing with the child as a mom, in this case, you're using the tools that I've provided, guess what's going to happen? Here's the magic. The other parent's going to see the shift in you and the child, especially MQT, Ryan, that you said earlier in the show, and it's mindful quality time. I use it on my wife too, Ryan. Right, and my relationship with my wife is closer now after 14 years than it's ever been, like today. And Dr. Vibe said it earlier. The most important thing is spending time. Like something of that sort, Dr. Vibe said earlier. So it's very important that we do this and focus on the tools that are provided, and the other partner. It may take some time, it may take quicker, but they'll fall in place automatically like that. Let them do that on their own time. They'll see the results because we all want positive results.
Well, and just to add on what Oliver's saying, this is what I share with parents. It's not how much time you spend with your children, it's what you do with the time you spend with your children.
Hey.
Right. And that's where the MQT was so powerful.
That's correct.
It's really purposeful.
So it's what you do during that time is really important. Leti_Gator, it's time to break these generational curses. Yes. Hundreds and hundreds of years of those generational curses. Divine Right is saying that's great. It's like the ripple effect. So she got what you were sharing.
You got it.
Very, very good. So we are coming up to end time, unfortunately. Oliver's been dropping knowledge bombs and everyone's been involved. Oliver, what are some take homes you can give for our mindful participants?
Some take homes. I wish you would have been more specific because there's so many different take homes.
Okay. Let me ask you something. What is one, hopefully for most people, easy thing they can do from your evaluated experience personally and professionally that parents can do to uplift their relationship with their kids?
That's what I'm talking about. So let's go back to this MQT, mindful quality time. And first of all my tools are easy. All of them are easy. And I made it easy because I know parents are stressful and they're busy and all that stuff. Your mindful quality time is the easiest and the most powerful. So the mindful quality time is totally different from your regular time spent with your child. So what you want to do is you want to sit down with your child and say, hey, we're going to do something a little bit different moving forward. You can phrase it as, I want to be a better mom, I want to be a better dad, or whatever the case is that you frame it as. That's number one. Number two is you let them know what that is. I'm going to spend some more time with you. And guess what? It's only as small as 5 to 10 minutes. No more. 5 to 10 minutes. And then what you want to do is you want to brainstorm with them what they would do, what they would like to do. Not because your daughter loves ice cream, you're like, oh yeah, let's have ice cream together. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's not what I'm talking about. No, you have to each day, what would they like to do each day? And the mindful quality time must be each day. Here's the thing, the audience here. Here's the fact. Actually, a child can go a whole, and I know Ryan kind of can resonate with this. A child can go a whole week without having eaten, and they can survive unless they have internal sickness. They cannot go a day without two things: attention and power. It's not happening. They usually get it in a negative way.
Mm.
So what I'm giving you today is the most powerful tools is that going to give them both attention and power when we spend this quality time with them purposefully. So you want to brainstorm with them each day, specific time of each day, because now the time is around your time now about what they want to do. And you want to label this. Label this means this is a big event. This 5-10 minutes is a big event. So have them come up with a label if they're young enough. If they're old enough, like teenager, they think they're big enough. You can come up with a label for them, and you initiate that mindful quality time. And this time is so important to you. You're not doing anything in that 5 minutes. If you're going to the park, you're not bringing your phone. That's not the time you're going to do laundry. You're going to cook. You're watching TV, or you're checking your text. Your mind, body, and soul in depth with this child. And lastly, if you have twins, they're separated at this time because they're all individual. So it's a one-on-one situation with your child. You spend mindful quality time with. Here's the thing. You want to hear the magic? I saved this for the last. If you do this, you'll see changes in your child within 3 to 4 days. Changes automatically in your child within 3 to 4 days. Shift in your child automatically.
This is good. Do we have time for one more question? As Oliver was sharing there, for those who are watching live on the replay, I just showed the website, Mindful Parenting Toolkit. So that's where I was scrolling up and down. So you had a good quick look at it. Do you have time for one more question, Oliver?
Oh yeah, of course. Anytime, anything for your audience.
All right. So here is the question. Christopher again, surprise, surprise. What skills should a parent enhance their communication, their engagement, listening, or love for their children? That's an individual thing. You can't just blanket
What
that.
skills should a parent enhance their communication, engagement, listening, or love for their parents, for their children? It's a very deep question, and it is kind of personal, Dr. Vibe. But here's the thing: there's something called encouragement, and we praise our kids. And here's a big difference: we praise our kids thinking that we're encouraging them. So a good skill to have is to stay away from praising your child. It's very discouraging to your child. It's actually detrimental to your child if we praise them. I don't want to get into it because of time, but it's a huge difference between praising and encouraging. For example, I'm going to give a quick example. When a child comes home with an A, and you praise the child, wow, another A, you're so smart, high five, let's go, guys, ice cream. Here's the thing: they're going to be depend on outside factor for any approval throughout their life because they become praise junkies. So anytime they might have a really good business and they go to a friend, and this happened in real life with us, and they're like, I don't think that's going to work. You're done, because now you're always looking for an outside factor for approval based on praise. Now, how you do that now is, and I have a whole module of I go through the dictionary and I compare praise versus encouragement all the way deeper down. And now, when it comes to encouraging, now you want to focus on what they've done to get that A. You don't focus on the end result, and you don't focus on the doer. You're smart and an A. Smart and A, you don't focus on. Now, what you do is you say, and this is what I say, and I'm getting amazing results, is you know why you get this A? Because of every time you come home from school, you put all your stuff away in the sink, and everything that you didn't eat, you kind of throw it out, and you put everything in the sink, and you organize yourself. The first thing you go in your room to do your math homework. That's the results here. And when he gets a C, he's like, "Oh, mom?" They know that C doesn't really bother me at all. Are you, my mom is going to be upset or whatever the case is, and I usually say, it's not the C's, it's your effort that you put in. So this tells me the kind of effort you put in. That's why you get this grade. So you always focus on effort and improvement, not the end results. So praise focus on end results. And here's the big difference now. The big difference now, when you praise a child, they cannot know how well they do later on in life. When you encourage a child, you are fostering that internal compass, that positive internal compass within themselves. So, for example, if you say, I'm so proud of you. Parents love to say these things. How about you should be proud of yourself? There's a whole different spin to that. It may sound simple, but it's very powerful. Because why should you proud of the child? Who are you? No offense, but who are you really? The child should have that internal compass to say, I'm proud of myself, I'm proud of my work. So this way you're building that internal compass. So now, watch this now. Peer pressure is not going to work. Choosing good friends, they're going to know to choose good friends. To cheat on a test or not, they're going to know that. To have sex at an early age, they're going to know that. To walk in a store and put something in their pocket. These are small little things, but it's huge later on. That's the difference between praise versus encouragement.
All right. Good knowledge bombs to leave on. Oliver, thank you so much for taking time to share with us today. This morning on the Morning Vibe, the website again, Mindful Parenting Toolkit. Looking forward to hearing some more success in how you're changing families around in the GTA and hopefully around the world.
And definitely engaging for the audience. We definitely have to have a part 2 and pick some of these topics and go deeper. I thought it was great.
All right. So thank you for your time. Have a good day. And remember to give yourself and your family and the other families grace.
Yes. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Take care.
Blessings.
All right. That was a energetic hour, man.
Hey, much needed topic, right? I mean,
got a lot of good, our Ms. Sheridan, so much knowledge. Thank you for the important work you're doing. Divine Right, such a great show. Thanks. I was able to catch today. I have to head off. Oliver, thank you for all the work that you're doing. It's very needed. Dr. Vibe, Ryan, be well. We had the hashtag encouragement. Christopher saying salute. Teachable moments. Someone put in for the Morning Vibe. And Sophia saying great discussion. So because there were so many knowledge bombs, we didn't mention about, the Morning Vibe, but if you looked at your screen and saw it scrolling on the bottom,
yes,
you would see it. So Charmaine saying great show, very inspiring. Thank you so much. Well, it's about that time. And you know something, Ryan? This is one of the more active entries today. A lot of people putting entries in today. So we're going to have a good
solid.
We're going to have a good giveaway today. I know we always have a good giveaway. So let's put it up. Let's do it live here. All right. So we got 7 entries today. I think this is maybe one of the higher days, which is fantastic. So here we go.
Who do we get?
Litty _Gator. Our first Twitter engager.
Oh, the Twitch, right?
Twitch engager.
Nice.
She won. Well, that's good. So, Litty Gator, what you need to do is you need to send an email to what email address?
So send it to info@acbncanada.com. Just put in the subject, the Morning Vibe $25 Amazon gift card winner. Yeah, we will get that to you today.
So again, that's fantastic. Charmaine, sorry, but I'm just going to put
good.
that email address up again for you. I'm going to put up on this screen so you can see it. So yeah, Litty_Gator. Send your email and put in the subject line again, Morning Vibe, Amazon gift card in the subject line, and we'll get that out to you. So fantastic. Hey, yeah, good show today. Yeah. So what's up for the rest of the week, Ryan?
So I feel like it's deja vu. Brampton has another conference happening. So just in case.
Did you not go to bed last night? I get up this morning. You're sending me emails at 2:30 in the morning going, do I get some rest?
You know why? My brain was really on fire for the store that's in the Bramley City Center and thinking of the different vendors, and with what ACBN does, it really, I feel like, encapsulates what it means to see an entrepreneur trying to start a business, running their business, and what can the community do to support them. So my brain was just active last night, so I didn't get to bed until like 3. But yeah, it's like
all right.
So yes, and it's funny because there's a conference today for the Black Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
They're doing their launch.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow is Brampton's next conference. So yeah.
I think a number of us are conferenced out.
Yeah, especially like all-day conference just to hear people talk. It's like, I think we gotta put
the action mode.
Yeah, use the time. Mode. Yeah, let's use it. If I'm gonna be present, let's get me to do some work. Like just sitting and listening to what we know to be true. I don't know if that's a good use of time right now.
By the way, quick little thing. How was your conference on Friday?
So it was nice. I mean, hey, it was one of the first ones in person. I think the Chambers one today is supposed to be in person. I saw an address, so I have to check if it's in person or not.
I don't know if it is or not, but
okay. But the Friday one was in person. So shout out to Connect Sure, that's run by Rose Handy. And really, it's about, she's part of the ecosystem as well. So just getting to meet her in person was nice. And I know it was more of a trade conference between Ontario and Quebec, which I thought was an interesting concept.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. Different.
Yeah, I made some good connections and some really progressive business owners in logistics.
Yes.
It was good to meet with them.
Big area. Well, what's up for the rest of the week as we start kicking it out here? What are you up to?
So this is the week that we want to get all the vendors into the store. So we have 3 right now, and there's about 6 spots. So we have 3 more spots left. And yeah, other than that, next week we're gonna do like a mini launch for the holiday season for the store, and that's kind of where the focus is. How about yourself?
Semi quiet, but that can always change on a dime. Having some conversations about different opportunities with different organizations. I have to host a conversation about fathers tomorrow for an organization. I got to do 1 or 2 proposals, and I got to follow up with some people because the time is running fast where you're going to get expenses. Hey, I'm already getting it. Check me next year. I'm already getting that already.
Yes. I've checked out. They've checked out.
They're checked out. So if you need to get in touch with people, do it this week, folks, because as it gets closer to the holiday season, you're going to get that automatic response. Contact me back on, I'm going to tell you what date they'll probably tell you. Either January 3rd or January 10th, they'll say out of the office or not doing anything till that time. So get it done. But going to encourage you over the holidays. It's a time, if you have stuff to get done on your own, use the time wisely. I've made some great gains and wins over the holiday season. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. So as always, we want to thank everyone who was here today. I could do the roll call, but I probably forget people. But you know who you is. Know who you are. You know who you is. And thanks again. We'll be back with you on Friday on the Morning Vibe. And as always, we end off with this. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. block assumptions, and aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace and walk good. Take care, everybody.